I just want to stand up straight again. Noah, he whispered, like before. When you exercise, you are sending a message to your body. I am still here. I still want to move. In my 20 years as a physical therapist, I have met hundreds of seniors, but there are some eyes that I will never forget. Eyes that are a mixture of fear of losing strength and a faint hope that they will regain it. There are moments when you suddenly realize that your body is not as flexible as it used to be. I have met many people like that, but there is one person I will never forget, George Miller. I am Dr. Noah Jupe, a physiotherapist in London who helps people over 50 regain strength and confidence in every step. I still clearly remember the image of Mr. George Miller, a man who had been a civil engineer, steadfast and full of pride. He came to see me on a damp morning in early autumn, leaning on a stick, his back slightly bent, and his eyes filled with a mixture of pride and hope. I just want to stand up straight again. Noah, he whispered, like before. That morning, London was a light gray, with a light rain like a thin veil. George and Mary came to my clinic together. Both were much further along than they had been in the past few weeks. George walked without a cane, and Mary stood tall, her silver hair falling gently over her shoulders. I smiled. Today we will do a special lesson, Superman. I rolled out the mat and said, this is an exercise to strengthen the back, the thing that has been silently supporting us all our lives. I instructed them to lie on their stomachs with their arms extended in front of them and their legs extended behind them. Now, lift your arms and legs up at the same time, just a little bit, and hold for a few seconds. Don't push too hard, just feel your back working. George took a deep breath, lifted himself up, and then laughed. I'm like a retired superhero. I laughed along. Exactly, but the superhero is back. Once and right it did. Post-Superman activates the muscle groups along the spine called spine erector, along with the glutes and hamstrings. They are the pillars that hold the body upright and help us resist gravity when we stand up or bend down. When these muscles weaken, the back hunches, the chest collapses, and breathing becomes shallow. By exercising regularly, older adults can not only improve their posture, but also breathe more deeply, walk more confidently, and feel more confident. Most reduce the risk of falls. Mary performed each movement patiently. As she lowered herself, she sighed with relief. I felt my back opening up, as if someone had kneaded each vertebra. I nodded. That's the body learning to stand upright again. For many people, that back opening feeling is the first sign of positive change, not just physical but mental as well. After a few sessions, I had them try an easier version, just the upper body lift or just the legs lift. Each person held it for 3 to 5 seconds, then gradually worked their way up to 10. It didn't take much. Just a few seconds of concentration each day was enough to build the framework that would keep them strong into old age. I tell them, these 5 exercises, front plank, side plank, V-hold, hollow hold, and Superman, are the 5 pieces of a stable body. When the muscles around the abdomen and back are activated, the spine is protected, balance is improved, and every movement throughout the day becomes easier. George was silent for a moment, then said, I used to be afraid of going down steps. Now I find myself wanting to climb them. Mary laughed. I also want to teach music to children again. I looked at them and felt a simmering joy in my chest. Not professional pride, but gratitude for witnessing people finding their way back. Power and freedom in your own body. I have always believed that the true strength of old age lies not in muscles, but in the will to continue living fully. When you exercise, you are sending a message to your body. I am still here. I still want to move. Even if it's just 10 minutes a day, even if it's just a few slow breaths, the body responds by opening up new possibilities. When the practice was over, George stood up without my help. Thank you, Noah, he said softly. I think I have a part of myself back. I laughed. Not take it back, George, but awaken. Before they left, I watched them walk out of the room, back straight, step steady, into the light London rain. I knew that they were not only healthier, but also living a different life, confident, proactive, and full of energy. If you want to continue following me as I teach you simple ways to regain your strength and confidence in every step, follow, comment, and subscribe. And if you really want to start this journey today, leave a comment. No one. Okay. When I looked at George, I realized what so many people over 60 face, not age, but the silent weakening of core muscles. The core, the group of muscles that surrounds the abdomen, back, and hips, is the foundation that holds the body together, like the foundation of a house. When strong, they make it easy to get out of bed, lift a bag, climb stairs, or even keep your balance when tripping over a rug. But when they weaken, back pain, wobbling, and unexpected falls begin. George was no different. He didn't lose his strength because of old age, but because he neglected the muscles that silently supported him. And that's what I want to share with everyone. The secret to staying strong in old age isn't in expensive supplements or exercise machines, which lies within your own body. I often tell my patients, we don't need a gym, just a mat in the living room and 10 minutes a day. Those 10 minutes can change the way you stand, the way you breathe, and the way you feel about yourself. When your core is engaged and your spine is protected, you not only stand stronger, but you feel younger, more flexible, and freer. I remember the first time George tried a light plank on the wall. His hands were shaking, sweat was beading on his forehead, but there was a glint of pride in his eyes. He said, "I thought I couldn't do it," and I smiled. Most people think that before they start. From that moment, I knew he was going to change. In my more than 20 years of practice, I have seen hundreds of stories like George's. People who used to lose their balance when bending over, who were afraid to go downstairs, and after just a few weeks of practice, they stand straighter, walk more confidently, and smile again. In the following sections, I will share with you 5 isometric exercises, gentle yet highly effective movements that have been shown to improve core strength, reduce pain, and improve balance in older adults. They're so simple you can do them at home, without equipment or a trainer. But if you stick with it, the results will surprise you. A stronger body, a clearer mind, and a renewed sense of independence. Before we begin, remember that it's never too late to take care of your body. Whether you're 60, 70, or 80, every move you make today is an investment in tomorrow. And if you've ever thought it's too late now, I'm here to say it's never too late. If you want to continue following me as I teach you simple ways to regain your strength and confidence in every step, follow, comment, and subscribe. And if you really want to start this journey today, leave a comment. No one, okay? After a few weeks, George was able to hold a plank for nearly 40 seconds. His back was straighter, his shoulders less hunched, but I knew he still had a long way to go. Now, we're going to move on to exercises that help with movement control, I said, especially when you bend over and stand up. That day, I introduced him to the V-hold, a simple but extremely effective exercise. I told him to sit on the mat, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Lean back a little until you feel your abs tighten, I said. Now try lifting your legs a little. George chuckled, shaking a little but holding on. I nodded. Good, that's all. The first 10 seconds were enough. V-hold activates the entire upper and lower abdominal muscles at the same time, the muscles responsible for standing up, bending down, and maintaining balance when moving. For older people, this is an exercise that helps restore smooth movement, especially if they feel weak or shaky in the hips and back. Think of it as reteaching your body how to sit and stand properly, I told George. After just a few days, he felt much more confident. I could bend down and tie my shoes without holding onto a chair, he said. A small change, but a big one. For older people, it's not just about strength, it's about independence. During that time, I met another patient, Mrs. Mary Collins, 68 years old. She was a former music teacher, had a slightly hunched back, rounded shoulders, and often complained that every morning I wake up a little shorter than yesterday. When I examined her, I noticed that her deep core muscles were almost completely gone. I decided to teach her this exercise. Hollow hold, an exercise I call body shield. Mary, I explained, this exercise helps your body learn to tighten to protect your spine. It's like putting on a seatbelt for your back muscles. She lay on her back with her legs straight and her arms raised above her head. Now, I said, press your back into the floor and lift your shoulders and legs a little. Don't hold your breath. She shivered slightly, then laughed. I feel like I'm flying. I laughed too. That's right. Just a few seconds a day, and you'll feel lighter. It is promptly. Hollow hold not only builds core strength, but also trains coordination. helping the practitioner maintain a stable posture during all daily activities. I told both George and Mary that when you learn to activate your core muscles during every movement, you will no longer worry about unexpected falls or recurring back pain. After 2 weeks of practice, Mary returned with a different posture. I no longer feel pain when I stand for long periods of time teaching music, she said. My students tell me I look taller. I laughed. It's not that she's taller, it's that she's regained her posture. Your natural posture. Looking at George and Mary, I realized something amazing. The human body has the ability to heal, no matter what age. With the right guidance, dormant muscle fibers can wake up, stiff joints can become more flexible. Every practice session, I remind them, we are not fighting age, but learning to live with it. They both nod, sweat soaking their shoulders, but their eyes are brighter than ever. With small movements, with every steady breath, they are rebuilding a foundation, not only of physical strength, but also of faith that old age does not mean weakness. And I know in the next part, they will be ready for the final challenge, Yornium, an exercise for the back, which supports the entire body and is also a symbol of human pride. Superman. George returned to my office a week later. He smiled, his gait still slow but steady. I've been trying the wall exercises every morning, he said, and I feel like my back is getting better. I nodded, then handed him the small mat. Good, George. Today, we'll take it one step further, the front plank. I instructed him to lie on his stomach, elbows directly under his shoulders, his body forming a straight line from head to heels. Imagine, I said, that your back is a bridge between your head and your feet. The job of your abs and hips is to keep that bridge from collapsing. George winced, tightened his abs, and trembled a little, but held for more than 10 seconds. When he came down, I saw the pride in his eyes. I just held it longer than I've ever held it, he laughed. Post-front plank, it seems simple, but it is the foundation of all movement. It activates the deep muscles in the abdomen and back that many people don't realize they have lost. When the core is strong, all other movements become safer. Bending to pick up something, standing up from a chair, or even keeping your balance when someone accidentally bumps into you on the street. I told George, you don't need to hold it for long, just get it right. 10 seconds is better than a minute wrong. Then I showed him some alternatives, plank on your knees, plank on the kitchen table, or plank against the wall. For older people, the important thing is not to force the body, but to reteach it coordination and stability. After a few sessions, George began to feel his back getting stronger and his gait less shaky. But I knew that to improve his stability, he needed more. Side plank, exercises for the muscles of the lateral trunk, I said. Our bodies don't just move in a straight line. Every time you turn your head, stretch your arms, or reach for your coat, your lateral muscles keep you from losing your balance. I had him lie on his side, elbows under his shoulders, legs straight and stacked. Now, lift your hips, imagine you're forming a straight line. George tried, then laughed. I never thought I'd be able to do this at 74. I laughed too. Your body is telling you it still has a lot of potential. Instead, insert 25er. Post-side plank exercises, the abdominal obliques, the muscles that stabilize the spine when we twist and turn. They help prevent injury when reaching or lifting heavy objects the wrong way. For older people, they are a protective armor against falls, which often lead to hip fractures or loss of mobility. In later sessions, I had George try a milder version, propping himself up on his knees instead of his feet, or leaning against the kitchen counter instead of the floor. Just 15 seconds on each side, twice a day, and he began to notice a difference. I felt leaner, he said. When I got up from my chair, I didn't need to use the armrests anymore. What always amuses me is the moment the patient realizes me power has never been lost, just forgotten. When they tighten their abs, keep their balance, they are not just exercising physically, they are regaining confidence in themselves. One afternoon, after finishing his homework, George sat down and looked out the window. The last rays of sunlight fell on his face. Noah, he said softly, I'm starting to believe I can walk around the park alone again. I smiled and patted him gently on the shoulder. That's our goal, not just to get stronger, but to more freedom. And so, day by day, breath by breath, plank by plank, he was rebuilding the foundation of his own life. I still remember vividly the quiet feeling in the room after George and Mary left. The mat was still warm. The minty scent of the massage oil lingered in the air. I looked around and thought of the hundreds of other patients who believed that age was the end of strength, only to be proven otherwise. In fact, their recovery was not just about muscles but journey to regain control of the body. Many people often ask me, is it too late to start at this age? I always answer, while you are still breathing, your body is still listening. Strength does not come from strenuous exercises, but from patience, from being willing to spend a few minutes each day talking to yourself. If you are reading this, thank you for joining me and my patients. Hopefully these stories and little exercises will inspire you to start your own journey to recovery. Be patient, be kind to your body, and you will see miracles happen. Thanks for reading. If you found this story helpful, please leave a comment, share your thoughts, and subscribe to continue my journey of staying strong at every age.